Last 12 months, he's got himself back on tour. I'm not even sure how many people thought he was going to come back. At one stage, he was backstage here at Ali Pali with a broken leg, and you thought Q School's probably going to come too soon. He ended up going, getting through, getting back on the tour. And, you know, this negative world, Murph, it's a case of, oh, he's too soon. He's probably going to play for a couple of years, lose his card, and that'll be that. Well, actually, what he's done is he's remained positive. He's stuck true to his team and the advice he's been getting, and he's shown a great deal of positivity on that stage tonight. A lot of accuracy, especially in the 180 column, 7 maximums to 1 over Lookman, and he was the better player. He could have won it a little bit sooner, but sometimes when you win with a little bit of a setback in the middle, it makes you feel even better.
Yeah, plenty of German fans in the Alexandra Palace will be delighted about that result. Coming next, Dirk van Duijvenbode versus Andy Baetens. Live commentary coming up on that. And then Johnny Clayton, he's the star attraction tonight in terms of the world rankings. Number 5 in the world, taking on a debutant in Adam Lipscomb before Connor Scutt faces Simon Whitlock, who actually lives in Portsmouth, quite near Adam Lipscomb, but went all the way back to his native Australia to qualify for this tournament. Something you know all about, Paul. Yeah,
he played in the ANZ Premier League, and it was a weird old campaign for Simon. I'm really looking forward to talking about what he does a little bit later on tonight. But I think he's just glad to be back here. I think there's a lot of people having chatter backstage thinking, is this Simon Whitlock's last time? Because you know what Simon's going to be like. He's not going to say it's his last time. He's already come out and said he's not going to do qualifying school in January. He's got other plans. So to get back to here next year, you get the feeling that winning the ANZ Premier League has given him enough industry to maybe get an invite back into it next year, to possibly win it next year, get it back here next year. That's how that will probably pan out. But as far as the immediate future is concerned, I think he's just glad to be here. Be interested to see what he does against Scott later.
Yeah, and the immediate future here is this meeting between the Dutchman Dirk van Duijvenbode and Belgium's Andy Baetens. Dirk obviously going to be the favourite for this one. He's the established player in PDC terms anyway. Baetens, of course, has had plenty of success and maybe hasn't kicked on as a PDC player as much as many thought he would.
Precisely. Just before he got his tour privileges, he was a player that would win the Lakeside Championship, and at that point that was no surprise because he was head and shoulders above anybody in that system. He was winning wherever he went. Italy, Croatia, in his neck of the woods, in the Benelux part of Europe. So when he came to the PDC, we were saying, right, now we're going to see the best of Baetens. It hasn't worked out that way. A lot of the time he was playing well at the start of his tour privileges, and other people were better than him at the time. But I can't ignore that his European Tour success of getting to European Tour events hasn't been good enough. 3 events in 2 seasons. And Scott Mitchell, our colleague here at talkSPORT and talkSPORT 2, he said that making no European Tours in a 2-year period when he had his tour card, that was the reason why he couldn't keep it. And even when he got here and lost to Chris Landman, he'd just given himself too much to do. So when it comes to Baetens, I don't think the floor stuff is much to blame. I think it's a case of him not getting to European Tour events and thriving in an arena where he plays better, because he is better on stage. Playing in Belgium has proven that in the past.
What about Dirk van Duijvenbode then, a player that a couple of years ago was right up there, wasn't he? Reached the UK Open final, plenty of major semi-finals as well, and he seemed to start to drift away, Dirk van Duijvenbode, but is he starting to show that he's back to that form that saw him reach those latter stages of big tournaments?
He's definitely trending. You look at his seasonal average in Players' Championships, for example, someone like van Duijvenbode at number 9 in the list, and that's over the course of 95 matches. So let's say, for argument's sake, it's around 100 against some of the others who have done the same. He's playing about as well as Jan van Veen average-wise, and we're lauding him into possible title contention. So what does Dirk have to do to get the same sort of chatter? Well, he's got to win tournaments. That's the one thing Van Veen's doing in contrast. He's winning, Dirk is not, but he is making the later stages of tournaments more in a match sense He starts against Baetens as a heavy favourite because he's a bigger scorer and he's more likely to win.
The winner of it will take on James Hurrell, who beat Stowe Bunce to get to the second round. Is it a section of the draw that could open up for Dirk van Duijvenbode?
I don't see why not. The thing about Dirk is he's not really scared of anybody. He's going to play his brand of darts, whether he's playing someone from down the local or he's playing the number one in the world, Luke Littler. He is who he is. He's not afraid to be himself. But I think he's going to be comfortable against Baetens tonight, because you know what it's like between those players in the Netherlands and Belgium? They don't mind having a little Middle European derby match, and that's exactly what this is tonight. So let's get our teeth into it.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready to announce the players onto the stage. A meeting between Dirk van Duijvenbode of the Netherlands and Belgium's Andy Baetens. Here is the master of ceremonies even, Mr. John McDonald.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. A very warm welcome back to the action. That is the Paddy Power World Darts Championship, coming to you live on Sky Sports from the Alexandra Palace, London. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to meet the players. Ladies and gentlemen, from Belgium, the winner of the Lakeside, taking part in his World Championship debut, would you please welcome Andy Baetens!
Andy Baetens makes his way down the walk-on. As we've discussed, he is someone who really promised a lot, but yet to really deliver in the PDC. Former Lakeside world champion, making his debut on the Ali Pali stage, has maybe become more of a battler than the type of dominant performer we might have expected him to be when he moved across. That mantle certainly belongs to his opponent, Dirk van Duijvenbode, but can Baetens drag him into a battle? Nicknamed the Beast from Belgium, can he find beast mode tonight?
He might have to against this guy, because things have just been loud. They're about to get louder and stranger.
Netherlands, taking part in his 7th World Championship, the winner of 6 PDC titles and a World Championship quarter-finalist. Time to meet the Titan, Dirk van Duijvenbode!
What can I do?
Well, only at the darts would you see Mr. Bean rocking out to a tune like this. That's what we've just witnessed from our commentary position here on talkSPORT 2. Dirk van Duijvenbode, he doesn't give it as much as he used to, largely down to the fact that he once fell over bouncing around at this walk-on, and it kind of set him back. And Mr. Bean, he's still going for it, Paul.
Just wonder if the dancers on the stage are going to do a synchronised Dirk dance. They used to. Well, apparently they're not going to do it this time. They're going to leave it up to Dirk. However, you're right, Smurf. It is understated. Until now. He gives it the old chainsaw. Go on, Dirk, give it more. And we want him to give it tonight, because if he turns up, this could be very, very good.
Yeah, expect a lot of 180s. They can come in clusters for Dirk van Duijvenbode. Really is a power scorer. Can be brilliant on doubles as well, but he can sometimes be brittle in that department, and that gives Andy Baetens a route into the match. If he can just keep calm amongst the chaos that Dirk van Duijvenbode tends to bring to the stage.
Well, you've got to embrace the chaos sometimes, Murph. And when you play Dirk, it's difficult. It actually is difficult at any time when you play him, whether it's 9 a.m. in the morning, 9 p.m. at night, or sometime in between. He is someone who has a presence whenever he's walking around you. He walks with authority. He's 33 years of age now. He's no child, and he's 10 years removed from his debut, where he had that memorable first game on the stage for the wrong reasons, where he bust 180 against Raymond van Barneveld, and it took him years to recover from it.
Andy Baetens 36, ranked 78th in the world. Seasonal average of 91. That's about 5 points below Dirk van Duijvenbode, which is a lot. There is a gap that needs bridging if Baetens is going to be in this match. And before the game gets underway, I think Dirk van Duijvenbode is changing his points on stage, or at least roughing them up.
Yeah, he's got a little bit of texture paper up there, which gives the steel points a little bit of extra roughness, because his darts do go in the board very upright. He doesn't want them to wobble too much. There's a brand new board on the wall. Let's see how Andy Baetens and Dirk van Duijvenbode use it. Here's the beast from the east using a smooth barrel.
100.
Very edgy looking point, and he's got blue all over him. His hometown is just outside of Aalst in Belgium. Beautiful town. And here comes Dirk.
Well, first 2 darts were perfectly in the treble 20, and once he gets going, he's hard to stop, but the last dart kind of slipped out of his hand. As I say that, Andy Baetens drops one on the floor, so 1-2-1 opener for Dirk van Duijvenbode. Baetens with 100 on his second visit.
Yeah, this is going to be quite the swift game, isn't it? You can hear the thuds of the darts on the board. Not a great deal of time between each one for Dirk, who's at the hockey now and yields 45. But Baetens is a little bit quicker at the hockey now, with blue flights, blue stems, blue shirt, trimmed in black, crew cut hairdo, somewhat understated kind of guy. I like to call him the Dave Chisnell of Belgium, because he's got levels.
Yeah, is he going to bring them out on his Ali Pali debut? Dirk van Duijvenbode scores 96, gets down to 239. Baetens on 220. Nice position to be after 9 darts. He should be on a finish as long as he stays straight, but he doesn't quite manage to do that.
Yeah, that's a bit of a slip, and Dirk is already roughing the points up even more as Baetens leaves 165. It could be van Duijvenbode who's on a finish first, but small 20 and another dart on the floor there, Murph.
Yeah, he's fumbled. I think he needs to rough up his fingertips as well, doesn't he, Dirk van Duijvenbode?
Yeah.
He is that type of player, Paul, where however well he's playing, we see him hit maximum after maximum. He never looks comfortable. He never looks settled.
He could make an elevator ride into a soap opera. That's the kind of person Dirk is. It's one of the reasons why we love watching him. Well, that's unfortunate for Andy. 419s, and then he tries to get another 3, but cascades into the treble 3. All is not lost. He's on 80 when he comes back. Dirk trying to crush 181 and does a wonderful job. 145 there to lead double 18 if the beast can't take 80.
Single 20, followed by another, working his way up towards tops, almost found it just south of the wire, and van Duijvenbode steps into break.
Loves double 18 as well, uses it at the World Grand Prix. Way high, good inch high of target. Then he's about 2 centimetres low of target. Double 9s found though, right at the top. And that's a 1-0 lead for the 29th seed from the Netherlands here on talkSPORT 2 and the talkSPORT Darts YouTube channel. Thank you for tuning in. And can't be ignored as well that Andy Baetens wasn't even in this tournament, Murph, until... Well, what's Dirk up to now?
It does let things distract him. It looked like he picked up a little bit of almost a sweet wrapper or something.
Is he doing a Joe Cullen up there? He's trying to find the lint.
He did find it, but bizarre. It's a game of concentration, darts, and Dirk van Duijvenbode often finds his mind wandering, and you can see that there.
This is the kind of guy who can actually find minor indiscretions in every aubergine he grows. Because he works on a aubergine farm, doesn't he?
That's a rather major indiscretion as far as Dirk's concerned, because Andy Baetens has rattled in the first maximum of the match.
Well, Dirk was playing with my attention span here as well, because I had a pretty salient point about Andy Baetens
58.
until he started picking things off the carpet.
He's now sort of scratching his sponsor patches, but he's distracting me, Paul, by distracting himself. Right, you can make your point about Andy Baetens, but only after it's a 9-darter.
All right, we'll wait, because there's 5 perfect darts hit. It's going to stay at 5.
Go on, we'll let you make it anyway.
He came through a qualifier that was only eligible for Belgian and Dutch players.
140.
In winning 6 games to get here, he took out Loek Vandenberg, Martijn Dracht, who's now lost his tour card, Mark Verkeert, Ron Meulenkamp, who's played here before, Shane de Jong in the semis, but this is the biggie. He beat Jimmy Van Schie by 7 legs to 5 in the final game. Jimmy Van Schie is now the WDF World Champion.
Just like Andy Baetens, who wants 100 to break back here. Single 20, and he's going tops. Finds the first, finds the second, right next to it. A menacing look towards the VIP area, and it's all square in this opening set.
Listen, Murph, you don't become a bad dart player overnight, and Andy Baetens needs to get to the last 16 of this tournament to keep his tour privileges without going to Q school. But I'll promise you this, Baetens can still play. You give him a stage, you give him motive, he will turn up. And it looks like the Wasp came back onto the shirt of Dirk. Another thing to distract him.
Well, that's a 12 darter to break there from Baetens. Really fantastic response. And you mentioned the Jimmy Van Ski victory. Averaged around 100 in that win. Probably the best defeat of Jimmy's career, wasn't it? Bearing in mind what happened afterwards.
Yeah, in retrospect, it worked out pretty well for Jimmy, who we hope is in this tournament next year. The man who's nearly 7 foot tall and now calling himself a Lakeside champ.
Live darts on talkSPORT 2. Over on talkSPORT Live, an exclusive commentary of Manchester United against Bournemouth. Man United leading by a goal to nil in that one. Ahmad on the score sheet.
140.
Well, this one really is starting to ramp up pace-wise. Derby match between Belgium and the Netherlands. Love it in the PDC, this kind of rivalry. 2-6-1 Dirk van Duijvenbode. It's coming down swiftly. Looking for his first max. Of course he gets it. That's now 81. He's got after 9, but Baetens has got a shot of 1-2-1 for a 12 again.
Single 20 just underneath the treble. Can't find the treble 17, so Dirk is going to come back, and we could get a third straight break here. 81 required for a possible 11 darter, but he'll settle for a 12.
He's taking his time as well, taking the pace out of the game. He's trying to dictate. 57 hit, 24 left for Dirk for 11. Over the top by half a centimetre. Adjustment is really good. Back-to-back 12s, one of them each. And now Dirk is 2-1 up in the first set. This one has got possibilities.
Yeah, super standard at the start of this first round affair. And you're right, Dirk van Duijvenbode really is taking his time. He even did it on the maximum, didn't he? The last dart took a while to deliver. He's again just taking a breath before he approaches the hockey, and then he did reconfigure before he threw once he got there.
100.
Yeah, he's playing a bit like Adam and the Ants, isn't he? Stand and deliver. He's standing a bit long, but so far he is delivering.
100.
On the back of his collar, he has a sort of signature writing. The word Aubergenius is actually a nickname given to him by our friend and colleague Dan Dawson.
93.
Yeah, I think that one stuck a bit more than the Titan.
Yeah.
He still goes by the Titan, but
Officially,
nobody calls him it.
Officially, but they go with the unofficial one. He worked on an aubergine farm back in
60.
the Netherlands, that's why.
Yeah, they have multiple sites where he grows these things. It's a great country, the Netherlands. They grow all sorts of fruit and veg, and they do a wonderful job.
Steady on, Paul.
98.
Well, certainly not a boring match. The crowd making their own entertainment, but there's no need to make their own entertainment. Fantastic game of darts on talkSPORT 2 so far. Van Duijvenbode 2-1 up in the first set, down to 2-10 after 9.
Yeah, it looks very much like Baetens is in big trouble.
84.
As, again, Dirk slaps his arm because the sponsor sticker seems to be leaving his arm. Maybe his arms are too big. Here, back comes the beast. 140, could have been a max.
Yeah, but he does just put himself back in the picture. 102 for Baetens if he gets a shot. It's 126 for Van Duijvenbode. A treble 19 will be the target here. If he hits it with one of the first two darts, he'll get a go at least a bullseye.
He looks so uncomfortable right now. It's like he's got the wasp inside his shirt. 2 19s and then 86. A treble 16 to leave himself wonderfully placed on 40 if Baetens does not take 102 to save the set. Gets the 42, he's looking for tops. That was a fierce dart from the beast, but it was too far high.
Real grimace on his face as he delivered it, wasn't there? He's really up for this. Once again, Van Duijvenbode was indulging in a bit of meditation, breathing routine before delivering the dart into the double top himself. 5 in that set for Baetens, but only one leg to show for it. The second set will follow here on talkSPORT 2 with Van Duijvenbode leading by a set to 0. If you love your darts, whether it's league night, the local, or dreaming of a walk-on anthem, you'll know the right gear makes all the difference. Target Darts are the brand behind Luke Littler's rise. They've been with him from the start, crafting the innovative, high-quality darts he now uses on the sport's biggest stages. And now Target have taken the home setup to another level with the Omni auto scoring system, instant accurate scoring, and a slick modern way to sharpen your game. So if you want the same equipment trusted by the most electrifying young talent in world darts, visit targetdarts.com and get on target.
It needs to be magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic! 180! Luke Littler gets on target. Magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic! 180! Luke Littler gets on target. To be magic. It needs to be magic.
Book your Christmas party now. Visit villagehotels.com. And in the opening sets of the second match of the evening, Dirk van Duijvenbode has taken it, and he won it by 3 legs to 1. But I tell you what, he's got a game on his hands if Andy Baetens continues playing the way he's been playing. This is shaping up to be a really feisty and fantastic affair, Paul.
I think Dirk managed to control that first set very, very well. He restricted Baetens to 3 darts at double, and for some reason the Wasp is back, and it's trying to bother Dirk van Duijvenbode, and honestly he's dancing around the stage like the Wasp is in his shirt.
He does seem very bothered by it for a man of his size.
He doesn't like Wasps.
Yeah,
he doesn't like flying things. He's saying to George Noble on the stage, somebody get the sprayer. Well, we're not going to do that, Dirk. You're going to have to manage it just like you did the first set.
Been all sorts happening on that stage today, hasn't there?
Never a dull moment when Dirk's around, honestly.
42.
That's why everybody loves him.
Well, it's a sloppy start, though, after the trouble he had with the Wasp there, and Andy Baetens is looking to capitalise. Punishes the 42 with the 140. And Duijvenbode are set to the good. This is the first leg of set 2, a race to 3 in the first round.
Will be a race to 3 sets in the next round as well, because of this elongated format in this tournament, having a last 1 to 8. The last 64 will also be best of 5 sets. It's after that, post-Christmas, we go to best of 7, where things get seriously serious.
Yeah, and there's a common wisdom that for the big guns, well, the Lukes as they're also known, you have to get them early because they're just too good.
Yep.
When you get to the longer formats.
So you're referring to Littler, Humphreys and Woodhouse because they're all still in the tournament, but Luke Mann is gone.
56.
Yeah, Martin Lukeman beaten by Germany's Max Hopp in the first match of the night. This afternoon there were wins for Brendan Dolan, Charlie Manby, Mensa Suljovic and Peter Wright. All had varying levels of drama.
34.
Yeah, good switch there from Dirk van Duijvenbode. 2 treble 19, still he 183, and the Beast is back at the hockey, 95. Via a last start treble 20 till he 151, so he's first to a finish. Dirk with the darts in the first leg of the second set. He took the first
93.
set by 3 legs to 1. That last start in the treble 18s left him on 90. That is now a guaranteed shot because the 151 from Baetens, it's only taken down by 97. He's better off
90.
leaving 54, but Dirk's got first crack at 90. He's gone bull first.
Yeah, 25-15, leaves bull. And the problem with going that way is that you've got something in the way of the target, and I think he did flick off the flight there.
Yeah, Baetens has got that 54 that he left. He's got the 14. He's missed tops low, and he's hit 10s low. That was precariously close to the double 15, south of the double 10 target, but it found the red bit, and it is 1-0 to Baetens with a breaker throw at the start of set 2.
Yeah, an 18 dart breaker throw, that one, and there's been
60.
5 legs in this match. 4 of them have been won against the darts.
Who said having the darts was an advantage? Sometimes it isn't. Some players actually like to go second at the start of a match.
You've been known to give the ball away quite successfully yourself, Paul, haven't you?
59.
And unsuccessfully. Every time I played Phil Taylor on a big stage, I gave him the darts. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't.
It worked when it mattered most.
Correct.
140.
That 140 coming from the Dutchman, getting him down to 304 on the Baetens throw. The Belgian is on 382 after his first 2 visits.
He's got a funny stacking method, is Andy Baetens. A lot of people listening on talkSPORT 2 right now who love their darts will think you stack either underneath or over the top. Well, Andy stacks side to side. As for Dirk, he is stacking brilliantly there underneath. His first dart to score a max, his second of the contest.
100.
Baetens with a ton till he 187, but it's not good enough. Dirk on 124.
Yeah, he's got total control of this leg, doesn't need to go 18s for the bull. Would have just been setting up, finds the treble 18 with his second dart, having gone wayward into the treble 4, but he does leave a double, albeit an awkward one. 38 is the number he requires when he returns.
Yeah, sometimes he doesn't mind leaving an awkward double like 19s because he's going to split this. Although he's looking at double 19. What are you doing, Dirk? Okay, going for it. He's low. Second dart, low again. Half a bed to aim at. Can't find it. So what are you doing? That's not like him.
Do you know what as well? The first dart really did block the double. I thought he might go for a second dart split there. Decided against it. Baetens gets treble 20 for double 15. And Dirk's decision making there needs to be questioned because Andy Baetens has pounced on that apparent error.
I would have put good money on the fact that Dirk was going to go 6 double 16, and he did not, and he's paying for it now, especially with his angle of attack. Baetens 2-0 up in this set. We're starting to realise why Baetens is so dangerous. Now, he's making his World Championship debut here at the Palace. He's played at Lakeside 3 times, and he made minimum quarters every time. He won it in 2024. In 2018, he lost in a last set decider to Scott Waits, and that is a game that crushed him. And then he went back a few years later and lost a quarter-final again. That crushed him. He knows a thing or two about World Championship heartache and a little bit of glory. So he's willing to go to the well tonight. He's on 396. Dirk better off 176, 220 ahead.
Yeah, Baetens 2-0 up in this set, but did lose the first set. So 100. Dirk's got a little bit of insurance in this game. Single 20 just below the treble. Goes down for the 19s with little success. Just the single and only just the single.
56.
Single 17 as well gets Dirk van Duijvenbode down to 120.
It needs to be big here from Baetens. 80 with the first 2, needs another treble. Can't get it with that jerky last dart. A lot of shoulder involved there. Dirk can do what he wants from 120. Well, treble 1 was not the plan.
Well, he could get messy again.
Easy.
Tidies up this time to leave tops. It's not often that a second leg of a second set is that important, but I'm going to keep thinking back to when he chose to go for that double 19, blocked it, persevered, and then was punished.
Hold that thought. Let's see if it makes any difference over the course of the next few minutes. Might not make any difference in leg 3. He's on tops, he's missed high, then he's hit. That was a really good measured second dart from Dirk, and he needed that to keep this set alive because Baetens was sitting on a 2-darter to take the set. Now, can Baetens serve it out
55.
and take us to 1 set all at the second and final break?
Only 55 to start. Neither player performing as well in this second set as they did in the first. In fact, the averages in the low to mid 80s
100.
in this set. They were about 10 points better than that in the first.
But this is one of those fixtures where the pace is so nice. It's appealing on the ear
100.
and the eye for us. And it doesn't really matter about the averages because it looks like a really good, even game.
And because they're going with each other in terms of fluctuations, every leg's competitive, every set's competitive.
Correct.
140.
That's why a lot of people thought this game was going to have a minimum of 4 sets. Literally everybody we spoke to over the last few hours said, that's at least 4 sets. Everybody was of a like mind. And Baetens would like to be level at the second break, and then they can play best of 3 sets thereafter. 250 for Baetens. Dirk is making his move at 2-1 down in the set. That 140 gets him down to 1-2-1.
Treble 20 followed by another for Andy Baetens. Make that 3 a maximum, superbly timed, piling the pressure on Van Duijvenbode. Baetens waiting on 70. Van Duijvenbode taking his time over the 1-2-1.
Indecision on where to start. Where's he going? 17's a single. 18's a treble. Bull. Set dart for Andy Baetens coming up because of the miss at the bull for Van Duijvenbode. Single 18 for Andy. He's got a dart at double 16 to win the set. And that's what a Lakeside champion can do.
It is magic. 180. Luke Linkler gets on target. Magic. It needs to be magic. It is magic. 180. Luke Linkler gets on target.
game, but we kind of predicted, Paul Nicholson, that like the Wasp, Andy Baetens would be difficult to shake off, and it's proven to be the case so far.
Yes, sometimes you've got to take Pro Tour form and dig a little deeper. Yes, maybe the PDC Tour doesn't suit Andy at this point of his career, but he's a prize-fighting dart player. You give him the right venue, you give him motivation, he can be one of the best players in the world. I really do rate him, and I like the way he managed that second set, in the same way that Dirk managed the first set. And what I mean by that is, Andy won by 3 legs to 1 with an average 4 points less than Dirk, and he was able to just do that against the darts. The timing of the finishing was pretty much surmised by what he did at the end. That 70 check out in 3, that's why he won that set. He got a chance, he took it, he moved on, and now we see what these guys can do in response. For Andy, in response to winning that set, Dirk in response to losing his first set of this championship.
If Andy Baetens does pull this off, well, we've only seen 3 seeded players go out so far. Andreas Harrison beating Ross Smith, Dimitri Vandenberg was knocked out by Darren Beveridge, and Cameron Menzies in that punchy affair with Charlie Mamby earlier today. Would this be the biggest shock?
No, I don't think so. I think Dirk's on an upward trend, but this is a particularly icy slope he's on with Baetens. I think, as far as the shock is concerned, Ross Smith, because of reputation. I know Andreas Harrison's a great player, but I still believe that would be a bigger shock than if Andy were to lose this one.
It's interesting to analyse them, actually, because Darren Beveridge has got probably the least reputation out of all of those winners, but Dimitri Vandenberg's been so poor for such a period of time that wasn't really seen as a shock.
Yeah, of course. We don't know where Dimitri is at the minute. In good time, we might have a bit more information about where he's going to move forward. But looking at the recent past in this championship, what's fascinating is that Dirk has lost in his first game of this tournament the last 2 years. And when I say you have to dig deep, you have to understand the story of Dirk van Duijvenbode. He hasn't lost those games because of poor form, particularly in 2024. He lost to Krutchma. That was a great game of darts. Boris played really well. But last year against Razma of Latvia, Dirk van Duijvenbode was still on the recovery process after injury. Now he's fully fit. I think this is a barometer of where he stands.
It's interesting, isn't it? He's been handed draws that on paper he should win, but players that we know are more than capable of beating him. There are easier draws in this 128 player format than Andy Baetens, no doubt about that.
We thought Nitin Kumar was a good draw. 100. He played stunning darts and has created probably one of the top 3 stories of the tournament with the Wasp and Paul Lim.
100.
Yeah, and another story that got an awful amount of coverage this afternoon.
I tried not to go there. Well,
it's almost impossible to avoid.
Indeed. I'm sure there'll be a lot in the media tomorrow about what Cammy did. Well, what is Dirk doing here? Maxing, that's what he's doing. That's his 3rd of the game.
But will it matter? Will it matter at all? It gets him down to 95, but Baetens on 96. No trouble with the treble. Double 18 is missed by a fair distance outside. Over adjusts. And Van Duijvenbode needs 95.
Shouldn't really guess where he's going to go on 95. Leave it up to Dirk. Treble 19 was the target. Down for 2 double 19s. He's got 1. Needs another. That is stunning. You couldn't hear that celebration on the stage, but I tell you what, the front row at Ali Pali did. My word. Boisterous nature from Dirk. He enjoyed that one, and why not? That was a great checkout of 95 to take a 1-0 lead in the 3rd. This one's about to get good. Don't go anywhere. Keep it talkSPORT 2 right now. And if you're on talkSPORT.'s YouTube channel, get involved. This one's going to get spicy.
Yeah, giving it some there. Dirk van Duijvenbode for the first time really in the match. Another breaker throw. I'm starting to lose count of how many we've had.
Just take a collective breath before the next leg, because I love these battles of Central Europe. Sometimes it's Netherlands versus Germany, Netherlands versus Belgium, Belgium versus Germany. That trifecta of countries, they're becoming heavyweights in this sport. And the Netherlands, it feels like they've been a heavyweight for 30 years now. We haven't seen Raymond van Barneveld and Michael van Gerwen yet in this tournament.
Well, you said 60. Take a breath before the leg. Maybe Dirk van Duijvenbode should have taken your advice, because he kicked off with 39 and followed with 86. And you see that quite often when a player has a release of emotion and then are throwing first in the next leg. Sometimes that emotion can spill over into the physical throwing action, and he's still yet to record a 3-figure turn after 9 darts.
And what did Manby do this afternoon with Menzies? When he had a big moment, he stood at the table, took a sip of water, and allowed himself to come down over the course of 10 to 15 seconds. Maturity beyond his 20 years. Now, this is where Dirk can recover. Treble 19s are plenty. 2 of them, followed by a treble 7. Takes 3-1-9, down to 1-8-4. Baetens half a dart behind on 2-1-6.
talkSPORT 2, the World Darts Championship. One apiece in sets between Dirk van Duijvenbode and Andy Baetens. Van Duijvenbode breaking the throw in the opening leg of the third, but Baetens poised to cancel it out. He's on 76. He's under pressure. That 180 leaves double 2 for Dirk if he gets to go at it.
In the words of Mervyn King, really? 76 for Baetens for 1-1, and that was taken with aplomb. Yeah, that's probably why Dirk van Duijvenbode decided to go maximum to leave double 2, because he knew that Baetens was in danger of taking out the 76. That was stunning. We've got a 1-1 scoreline in sets, 1-1 in legs. This is a very fair fight.
And they are back to set 1 levels of play, aren't they? Oh, something happening. Oh, the wasp is on Andy Baetens' arm. Dirk van Duijvenbode pointing it out. He was more bothered that the wasp was on Andy Baetens than Andy Baetens himself was.
I think we're starting to recognise that Dirk doesn't like insects.
Yes.
And he might be aware that some players in this tournament have played very well with the wasp on their shirt, and he doesn't want Andy to have any sort of boosters or anybody giving him a helping hand. Not that he needs it.
Yeah, he was really keen to point it out. Baetens just brushed it off like he didn't really mind at all. He wasn't too bothered. 2 treble 5s here. Used them kind of to get the treble 20.
I'm amazed that we've had this many wasps and we still haven't seen Ant-Man here. Well, not that we would. Very small.
Actually, a few fans today have taken to dressing as a wasp as well. It really is capturing the imaginations. Interestingly, actually, wasps are beneficial normally for aubergines. Help control common pests in the eggplant, Paul. So Dirk should be welcoming the wasp.
I'm not buying it. The aubergine, that is. I prefer my aubergines without wasps. 175, Dirk van Duijvenbode. Baetens on 190, crushing it with a 140. Called by George Noble, the referee. This is his last World Championship. He will do the final on January 3rd. Baetens in a very, very good position here on 50 to take a 2-1 lead in the third.
Yeah, that's after just a dozen darts in this third leg of the third set. 18, leaves double 16. Inside, he went with that dart. He thought it might have been in when it left his hand, but double 8 will rescue it.
42.
2 missed darts. How important are they? 82 for van Duijvenbode.
Get the feeling he's going to pay for that. 82, it should be bull. It's a 19, fortunately. He can go 13 bull or treble 30 for double 12. Double 12.
17.
Oh, and I thought that treble was crucial, you know, because the bull looked a little blocked, but he couldn't find the double 12, and Baetens breathes again. Double 4, nailed by the beast, who takes the lead in the game. 1-1 in sets, 2-1 up in legs.
I called Andy Baetens of Belgium the Belgian Chizzy, and have done for years. Well, maybe if he plays this way, he's the Belgian Ricky Evans, because so far on the Ali Pali stage, he looks mustard. Averaging close to 95, 46% of the doubles, and he's in front in the third set. He is trouble for people who play him at this tournament.
Belgium watching back in the homeland. They've seen Kim Huybrechts depart, they've seen Dimitri van den Berg depart, and they're ready for a new player to take that mantle.
Mario van der Behard's gone.
Yep, true.
Why not Andy Baetens? Why not? 4-4-2 after 3.
85.
Only 85 to back it up. But Dirk's not that much better off. He's on 320 after 6. It's only a 37-point lead.
He's playing well, Dirk van Duijvenbode.
58.
Not doing an awful lot wrong, but Andy Baetens is putting it up to him here. 3-5-7. After 6 starts, drifts into the treble 5.
tell you,
Can't find the treble 20 either.
I tell you what, Murph, this game is remarkably similar to the one that Dirk van Duijvenbode had 2 years ago with Boris Krujma. I remember that game like it was yesterday, and Dirk looked rattled at times. He looked intimidated by Big Boris. The stats are very similar. 2-6-2 apiece here in what could be the last leg of set 3. 98. Via a last start, single 18 to leave 164. Baetens could have 6 starts from here to win the set.
58.
Only 58
164
for Andy. So 6 starts from 164 to level the set. Treble 20, goes for the treble 18. Does he go for the ball? Yes, he does, but it's a 20. That might be a mistake as well. All that we can really criticise about Dirk van Duijvenbode's performance tonight is some of the decision making.
And we don't usually do that. He's right up there in the board management stakes as smart and intelligent and better than anyone.
Does he learn from the previous mistake and now split?
Let's find out. 30 left, straight for double 15, outside by a centimetre, then inside by half a centimetre, and he's going to pay for this.
Yeah, but making the same mistake time and time again, that is the definition of insanity. Andy Baetens ready to pounce, ready to punish. 64 required to go ahead in sets. A 16 and an 8. Adds up to tops. He nails tops. And he punishes Dirk van Duijvenbode again. He's made it too complicated here, Dirk, on a couple of occasions. And he has been made to pay.
Those 2 shots really have cost him. Going straight for double 19. Missed all 3 low. Went straight for double 15. Outside, inside, didn't get another chance, and Baetens has made him pay.
100.
If there is one weakness in the Baetens World Championships CV, it's that when he's been in a winning position on some occasions, he's been reeled in by people who have gone aggressive against him. People like Scott Waits. Last time he was in a World Championship, he won it though, so we'll give him credit for that.
Yeah, he's only 1 set away now. Andy Baetens leading Dirk van Duijvenbode by 2 sets to 1 here on talkSPORT 2. One more for the Belgian would see him through.
It's incredible, isn't it, this game of darts? All year, Andy Baetens has made 3 last 16 appearances, one of them at the Baltic Sea Darts Open in Kiel in Germany. But this is a different beast, isn't it?
52.
That 180 leaves him 162. He's not going to get a look at that because Dirk's on 152. Start of the 4th set. And Dirk, again, has crushed the score by a lot and left himself on double 6 by choice.
Yeah, double 6 itself, not an awkward double, but it could get awkward very quickly.
90.
That's why people try to avoid it. 3 o'clock position, double 6. Outside by a centimetre and a half. Then inside, he's splitting. And he's missing double 3. It's happening too often.
72.
Simple game made complicated by human beings, and Dirk van Duijvenbode is making it complicated tonight. Baetens looking to punish again. He keeps it simple. Double 16. He takes out the 72. Single 20, double 16, break a throw, and Dirk van Duijvenbode now is clinging to the cliff edge.
That is a break, and it feels big because this brutality
60.
that the beast is bringing here tonight to Monday, it's being felt by Dirk van Duijvenbode, who's only 24% in his doubles. The beast from Belgium is now 53%.
58.
He's growing in confidence on the stage.
It's those killer finishes, last dart in hand, isn't it? So simple, single, double. On those 2-digit numbers.
60.
Dirk van Duijvenbode back of the stage, just trying to pump himself up before approaching the Oki. Only scored 58 with his first visit. Still, he can't find a treble. 1 above, 1 below. Down to the 19th. Finally strikes gold there.
If you're Andy right now, adorned in blue, throwing blue flights and blue stems in that smooth barrel a la Terry Jenkins.
100.
I'm sure if you've been listening to talkSPORT 2 and talkSPORT over the years, we've talked about the smooth darts of TJ. Well, if he goes for it tonight, he'll send a statement. That 174 from Dirk, though,
74.
that digs him out of a bit of mud because on 3-4-6 he was in trouble.
172 van Duijvenbode lost 54. The first leg of this third set. He's 2-1 behind in sets, but has taken the darts crucially here to break back. Baetens on 227.
Could be a break back,
140.
especially after that 140. Dirk has now got 11 of them to Baetens' 9 in this contest. They're sharing 7 maximums. This looks like a leg that Baetens is going to lose because Dirk's on double 16, misses it just outside. Then inside, he's splitting way too many times, double 8, and he misses that as well. He is so frustrated up there on the outer ring.
Well, this time Baetens can't punish him. 183, but he can apply some pressure. Treble 19, followed by another. And the 133 leaves him on 50. And Duijvenbode on double 4. Can he finally nail one? He can. He remembers what it feels like to hit a winning double and levels up this third set, but trails 2-1 in sets.
I think it was key that Dirk found that double 4 with the first start. Just needs to start building some confidence on the outer ring because he doesn't have many friends up there.
Another breaker throw as well. There has been, by a margin, more breaks and holds in this game.
That's what makes it so listenable
60.
and watchable for us, because when you've got lots of breaks of throw, it feels like holds of throw, like gold dust.
Yeah, pretty volatile, isn't it, the throw in this darts game. Baetens collects his darts, having scored a ton, 40 more than DVD managed with his first salvo in this third leg of the fourth set. Goes for cover on the 18 successfully. Down after 6 darts to 3-4-7.
Do you remember when the phrase straight to DVD was for something that wasn't very good? Well, straight to DVD in darts means that you're watching Dirk van Duijvenbode or listening on talkSPORT 2, because he is box office. 3-4-7, absolutely obliterated with his 5th maximum. Now he's on 1-6-7 to take the lead in this 4th set.
Baetens comes up dry with the first 2 darts, finds a treble 18, but not in finishing range. Now, van Duijvenbode earlier on a finish like this went for the bull unnecessarily. This time he doesn't get the opportunity to do so because he hasn't found the treble.
I think it's probably good that he doesn't get to the bullseye because it takes the temptation away. 109 when he comes back. Baetens has got to be on a finish that's manageable. 2-2-3 to start, trebleless. 1-6-4 left, advantage Dirk.
109 is the target. Plenty of choices, plenty of ways to go. Opts for a conventional treble 20, single 9. That leaves tops. That's what he needed. Takes it out for a 15 darter and takes the lead in set 4. 2-1 to Dirk in legs, 2-1 behind in sets.
He's also keeping Andy Baetens away from the doubles. He's not allowing him any shots.
Pretty wise.
That's a really good way to win a darts match. Don't give them any shots at a double at all.
Especially a player who's been successful with more than half of his attempts in this game. In fact, Dirk's had 11 more darts at doubles than Andy Baetens over the course of this contest. 140 opening visit from van Duijvenbode. It looks like he's going to be sending this to a deciding set.
This game is so good. It's as intense as the most strong coffee you can get in the morning, and about 12 hours later it's still hot. That's how intense this game is. Really, really good. And I really want this to go a full 5 sets because there's more drama to be had.
Well, no leg is safe, is it? Because both players are capable out of nowhere of striking 3 big trebles.
Baetens' average has come down in this set by a couple of points. Dirk's is starting to climb, which is a really good sign for him. He's on 2-4-6. Baetens in a better position on 2-8. He can still win this match if he wins the next 2 legs.
And he looks on course to be pushing Dirk van Duijvenbode to the point of no return here. 78 when Baetens returns. He has been gobbling up those kind of finishes.
Yeah, this time Dirk can't stop him. So he needs a bit of fortune that the Belgian doesn't hit. 78 it is. There's a 4. That's fortunate. That's not. That's treble 14 for double 16, and he can't polish it off. That's just on the outside, and Dirk has a chance to win the set on another combination.
Just taken out 109. Now he wants 106. Can't find the treble 20. May stay there. It's a good guide. He does go across to the 18s, and he gets it. Double 16 for the sets. A roar from the crowd pretty much matches the decibels from Dirk van Duijvenbode, who ties up this match at 2 sets apiece. We are going all the way on talkSPORT 2.
Love the intensity, and I love the way he finished the set off with 2 combination finishes. Best set average of the match, 98.26 from Dirk. Maybe peaking at the right time. And isn't it apt as well? 2 sets all. It is 8 legs apiece. You can't get a lick of paint between these 2. This is a great darts match.
It really is. And just a reminder that in a final set, you must win by 2 clear legs.
85.
If not, there'll be a tie-break rule employed.
We've only had one so far in this tournament. That was Bunting Białecki last night.
And we haven't gone the full distance to sudden death yet, have we? That's at 5 apiece. There could be 11 legs of this left. Stay with us here on talkSPORT 2. Chris Murphy and Paul Nicholson guiding you through this one. Mark Wilson and Chris Mason will return for Johnny Clayton against Adam Lipscomb next.
I'm not sure who James Hurrell wants to win this one. Would he rather have Baetens or Dirk? He probably doesn't care. He took care of Stowe Bunce last night in the last game of the night, which went late. And we might be going late again, because we've got 2 more matches after this. It's 170 for Dirk after 9. Good start to the final set. Baetens behind.
60.
Only 60.
Dirk
And he is 1 point behind, which is crucial. It's the difference between a finish and a non-finish.
Does he go for the 170? Does he go for the bull? He does! And he nails it! He wanted that showmanship. He wanted to get the crowd on their feet, and he's done it. Dirk van Duijvenbode by reeling in the big fish.
Second one of the day. We had one from Brendan Dolan earlier, and that was earth-shattering. That one from Brendan. That is number 4 in the tournament. Rob Cross, Clemens, Dolan, now Dirk. Was that a good time to get a 170 at the start of the final set? Because his adrenaline will be swimming around him now.
Well, it was a break of throw, so in that sense, it's certainly a good time. Thoughts of tie breaks now will be in Andy Barton's prayers. Dirk van Duijvenbode wants to avoid that, but again, the big release of adrenaline, the first start of the next visit goes in a single one.
I'm going to repeat my point about the beast from Belgium. When he plays World Championship matches, they are never dull. He doesn't have one of those World Championship campaigns, whether it's at Lakeside or here, where he gets through or departs with a quiet nature. He either wins the tournament or he goes out in a last set decider. So, based on history, he loses this set and he's got his heart broken for a 3rd time in his career. Or does he? Maybe he's made it tougher stuff these days. That 140 gets him to 261. He's in charge of leg number 2 of the last set on talkSPORT 2. You do not want to miss the rest of this.
Oh, this is superb. You just cannot decide which way it's going to go. When it looks like one player's assumed control, suddenly the trebles dry up for them and the other one comes roaring back. Barton's on 261. No treble yet.
60.
No treble in the visit. 201, but Dirk is 103 points behind.
You've got 3,500 Christmas-hungry, darts-hungry people in here, sweating profusely and laser-eyed on the stage. If you had heads or tails on the stage, they would cheer everyone. But they are darts fans, and they are loving this, just like all of us. 60, and again from Baetens. Big 19 leaves 62. He's in a good position to equalise at 1 leg all.
Yeah, really good stuff. Puts pressure on. 62 when he comes back. Van Duijvenbode from 204 also finds 2 treble 20s, but he goes one better. And Andy Barton simply has to hit this.
This is what he did very well early. He needs this 62. He's got a 10. He's got a 20. Has he got a 32?
30.
He has not. He's missed it by a centimetre on the outside, and Dirk has his chance to go 2-0 up in the final set.
He has really stepped it up in this set, Dirk van Duijvenbode. Double 12, missed on the outside, adjusts, uses the dart as a guide. Expert stuff from Dirk van Duijvenbode. At 2-2 in sets, he's now 2-0 up and 1 away from the win. What a turnaround, rapidly, from the Dutchman.
Yeah, this is resilience.
45.
And now Andy Baetens is showing signs of flagging. But that last start at double 12, forget about Alan McManus. Dirk van Duijvenbode is angles. Going down that stem to make double 12 even bigger, genius. The kind of thing you would have seen from Simon Whitlock, the late great Kyle Anderson, and the person who's playing Bo Greaves in this tournament, Mr. Gurney. But here goes Dirk. He had a little bit of a chat to himself before the start of leg 3. It's worked a treat because that is his 7th maximum, and he really has started a churn in that department in the last 10 minutes.
He was in danger of being knocked out of this tournament. Trading 2-1 in sets. Baetens hits back with a maximum of his own, but Dirk van Duijvenbode kicked off this final set by taking out 170. He kicks off what he ups is the final leg by hitting a 180. Oh, and I was about to say and another one, and he's as furious as Cameron Menzies was this afternoon there.
Wasn't that like the German Darts Championship when he was on a 9 against Nathan Aspinall and he made Nathan laugh because he was so devastated at not being on a 9 after 6 darts. But look at the bright side, Dirk. You're 181 points from winning. You could have 6 darts from here to win it if Baetens does not take out 1-4-2.
Yeah, he really wanted that. He's back in the treble. This is brilliant. Bullseye, treble 13, an impeccable setup shot to leave himself on 32 for a 10-dart leg. And he might not even get a shot of the double. Treble 20 found twice. Double 11 for Baetens. That is sensational. What a skin saver from Andy Baetens, who had his feet planted on the tungsten trapdoor and just somehow mustered every bit of ability he's got to save the match with an incredible 1-4-2 checkout.
The only way to describe that was leg of the tournament. It's going to take something ridiculous to top that. I haven't seen a leg like that since the 2017 Champions League when Mensah Suljovic took at 160 when Barney was on a double after 9. It's basically the same thing.
It's remarkable, absolutely remarkable. Dirk van Duijvenbode had thrown 9 darts, left himself on a double, did not get a shot.
Double for the match.
99.
Unbelievable. What a shot from Baetens. That guy is incredible. Now he's got to do it again.
And do it against the throw this time. Van Duijvenbode only open with 41, but he's putting that right to some tune. An 8th 180 for the Dutchman.
What a shame this game is only 5 sets. What a match.
And it might be about to end because Baetens has come up dry and Van Duijvenbode now 280 points away. He was 32 points away not a moment ago.
Yeah, well, Baetens has left 3-4-2. It's one of those silly numbers you should not leave after 6. You can't leave a finish.
58.
The only saving grace is that Dirk has had a bad visit there of 58 to lead 222. He's got to crush this treble 20 or switch. Single 3 on the switch.
77.
Double switch is a 54 up top. He's on 265. He's hanging on by the skin of his teeth as Baetens.
The only way he's going to win this match is if he produces something equally as special, but this time he will have to rely on Dirk van Duijvenbode missing or having a bit of bad luck, which he's just had because he had 2 darts in the treble 20. The third one dropped out.
Well, this time Dirk does get a shot for the match, though. Treble 7 start for Andy Baetens. It's not good enough. 2 single 19s. Now it's 6 darts for 102 for Dirk, the 29th seed to win this match.
Gets the treble 20, single 10. The double 16 he didn't get a go at in the previous leg. He gets and he nails in this one. And he was given a real workout. 0.54 the average. He had finishes of 102, 106, 109, and of course that 170. Baetens seemed to save his game with that incredible 1-4-2 when Van Duijvenbode was waiting on a double for a 10-darter. But he exits the stage. He'll be disappointed, but he shouldn't be. A kind of glorious defeat for Andy Baetens there. Myself and Paul Nicholson will return for the final match of the evening. Connor Scott taking on Simon Whitlock. But next up here on talkSPORT 2, stay with us. Debutant Adam Lipscomb takes on the world number 5, Johnny Clayton.
Every game I've ever commentated on, he's been an absolute criminal. Right, I'm going to go.